In my opinion, there are no remarkable people, but there are people who do remarkable things. And I think people sometimes rule themselves out of achieving something because they think at that point they have to be the person that's achieved it. My name is Mick Dawson. I had the enormous privilege and honour of becoming the first person to skipper a rowing boat across the North Pacific Ocean. 7,000 miles and 189 days, 10 hours and 55 minutes it took us. Nobody had ever done it before, and now we know why. Now, I knew Chris quite well. This is Chris Martin, and I knew that he was the sort of person who wanted to do other stuff, and he became part of the dream. Except that's what it isn't. The dream, as soon as you say that about an ambition, you're almost giving yourself a get out of jail card. It's my dream, it's out of reach. So the mental approach is absolutely key. I never called it a dream, I called it an ambition and a goal, and I knew what we had to do to achieve it. Any ocean row, and I don't care where it is, but especially on the North Pacific, comes down to one thing: rowing all the time. There's no getting away from it. We rowed a routine of 2 hours on, 2 hours off, 24 hours a day for 6.5 months. And we even got so good at rowing in bad conditions, we rowed in 40, 45 knot winds when those winds were taking us east. On one occasion, I was rowing away and I looked over my shoulder. I said, "How far have we gone?" He said, "We have stayed in exactly the same spot." And we said, "Well, that's good news, because that means if you row with me, we will make progress." If there's one key element to our success, it was how we operated on that boat as a partnership. We never had a row in 6.5 months at sea. We had our ups and downs, and we knew there were times we shouldn't be talking to each other or somebody needed space, but we never had an argument. We had a constant phrase that we used when it was miserable, which was a lot of the time, is "What's the reason we're doing this again?" And the other guy would say, "No one's ever done it before." And that became our little sort of release valve for that. But we still kept going, we still kept pushing towards the coast of San Francisco. Until finally, as we got into November, we were within 125 miles of our destination, the Golden Gate Bridge. And from that moment on, we rowed in, surfed in, appropriately enough on Friday the 13th of November. Chris Martin and I completed what I consider is one of the last great firsts, and humbly think is possibly one of the greatest maritime team efforts there's been for a long time. So I would hope that my story allows people to see that they can go down a road to achieving their aims without being some sort of Superman that's finished it, but they can just be the person that starts it.
It's a human vision, legacy we want to leave behind us.